Okay, here we go. Hodl, hodl, hodl. Save, save, save. Build a, build a, build a. Sound money, sound money. All right, guys. We are here. We got two fantastic guests. In fact, they're the glue to the whole conference. I mean, it's not going to be a Bitcoin conference unless we have the Mad Bitcoin
Right.
to be
you
the
want to
MC.
introduce the show before you introduce the
Yeah,
guests?
well, I'll do that. But I got it. They're there. I'll introduce them first. Then we got Patrick, BitcoinMotorist, and he's going to be kind of a moderator and for some of the panels. And the job of these two guys is to keep the conference flowing.
Which is not an easy
Be
job.
the glue to the conference. And
Glad it doesn't fall on me anymore.
yeah, that's your guys' job. I appreciate you doing it. So let me go through and outline the conference. Guys, this is show is open to the public, but the conference isn't.
There we
You
go.
got to sign up through a speaker or through an existing a Guild Goat member. That's one of the benefits. Because if you go on the website and try and sign up, it's going to reject you without a promo
Without an
code.
affiliate code, right.
Affiliate code. And then by using that code, you get a 15% discount.
Correct.
So the whole thing is, let's go to the website and we'll explain it a little bit. It's pretty self-explanatory. I think we've worked out most of the bugs. But there it is. It's August 12th through the 15th. However, before the conference, we have two workshops. And the first one is, of course, by the famous Jimmy Song, and it's advanced programming blockchain. And you have to be qualified. That's not cheap. It's not a cheap thing. It's like
3,000 or 4,000.
yeah, 3 or 4. Then Victor, I got 2 scholarships. Victor is going to he qualified, and my son qualified. I was nepotism there, but anybody in the member could have applied. They didn't get through, so he got it. So, and Aaron actually was a speaker at the last conference with
right.
these two guys. So. And then we got Running Bitcoin, which is how to set up a full node. And he's going to teach about, I think, Lightning Network and so forth. I think that's $1,000.
Yeah.
And
$1,000 and you get the hardware for a full node.
yeah, and I've got some scholarships there, but just to the members. If you're a member, I still got, I think, a couple left. If you're coming, you do have to pay for an extra day hotel stay,
Yeah.
but that's it. It's a free. Otherwise, it's on me, guys. And then the conference after that, after these two. Workshops that night, we're going to have a carnivory dinner, and so I think most or all the speakers will be there. It's $300 if you want to go. You don't have to do it, but that's that night, and then the following day the conference starts, and that's at the Lucerne. Is that Lucerne or Lucerno Hotel? It's a nice 5-star hotel, and probably the newest, biggest one in Ensenada, I think. Yep. And it's kind of perfect
really
for,
nice
and hopefully we'll be able to open it up. Right now we are very limited, but we're hoping to open it up. I'm sure we're going to be sold out very quickly, probably within a week or two, because we're starting to promote it, and then it's going to be closed unless we open up the conference. But if we can open it up, it's not going to be the same price.
No.
It's going to go up. It's going to go up from $950. We're at raise it what, 300? We'll be raising the conference. The conference is $995 right now, and
$950.
$950. Excuse me, $950. So we got to raise it up to $1,250.
Right.
If you don't do it now, and then that's a 2-day conference. That's Thursday, and then Thursday night we have a little dinner right there.
Right.
And then Friday the conference closes, but we all transport you out to Horsepower Ranch, and we got wrecked but not ruined. And this is, there we go. You can watch that video, guys. It's good. And Patrick's been on one of these. He knows it's an adventure, isn't it? So that's where we're going to be at Horsepower Ranch, and that's a beautiful place too. It's a little bit more roughing it, but it's not. It's like yuppie camping or something like that. So that's what we're going to be doing. And then Sunday morning, we're done. We check out, and you go home and have breakfast there, or you can hang out there longer if you want. It's a nice place to be. Or stay in Ensenada. Incidentally, if you do fly in, anybody that flies in, you fly into Tijuana, we will have a shuttle service. We will pick you up. We need to know when your flight arrives, and we'll be picking people up at the airport and driving you right down here. It's a beautiful drive. So if you can, I do recommend if you fly in during the day, because you don't want to really miss the drive. It's a beautiful drive down to Ensenada. One of the most beautiful drives, I think, in the world, really. It's really pretty cool.
And if you're wondering how to get down here, you'll find instructions on the website, whether you're driving or walking across or flying in, whatever you're doing.
All right. Do we cover all? Let me see.
I think
you use a lot less energy if you walk than if you fly. If you're trying to worried about energy.
Yeah, and these guys, Thomas of Mad Bitcoin, he was the MC at our Working Man's Bitcoin cruise, and BitcoinMotorist was a featured speaker. I think my son liked your speech the best, Patrick. So
yeah, I think Ugly's kid's speech and Zazo's speech were among the best because they were the most personal, and those really hit home to have somebody
they
go
were
up
all
there and give
good. A
personal
lot
story.
of people like Socrates, and I know Juan Galt had some big. I mean, I was very pleased with that conference.
Yeah, there were no bad speakers. Everybody was awesome at that.
Yeah,
that
I mean, it was
conference.
just black. And you know what? We had, we don't. It's not a. We're not. We got some pros from the A team in here, but I believe we need to have a lot of B team guys too. We're gonna have a lot of new faces here that I've invited down because I think that's real important. And I hope it's just the first one of many. So if you're thinking about moving to Mexico, this is a great time to do it, and you might want to check into the Mexican Council before you come down, because like in his case, he just came down and said, I'm not leaving. And so that happens a lot down here, because it's a lot more free down here. It's different, but it's not everybody's cup of tea, but sure is mine. And of course, to me, the biggest risk right now is, if you have all your assets hooked up into your house and your retirement fund, you're very vulnerable right now, and you need to be into Bitcoin. So
So Ugly, you're telling me I should leave New Hampshire? I moved to New Hampshire. I should come to Mexico.
Well, it's up to you. It's a lot cheaper to live down here, and you live a lot better, and we're a lot freer, I think. So that's the way
it never snows.
Huh?
It never snows down there. It snows.
That's true. That's a good point, Thomas. Although I don't mind the snow, to be honest. I actually think the snow is cool.
Well, you can go in a mountain. You can go up and see the snow. That's kind of a big deal. In fact, that's what they love to do down here. They'll go up in the mountains in January when it snows, and they'll fill their pickup truck with snow, or build a snowman on top of their pickup, and then they drive through Tijuana and everybody honks and throws snowballs. It's a very primitive kind of, but fun because it's if you live in San Diego and you don't go up in the mountains, you're never going to see snow. So.
Listen, that's the right way to see snow, from the back of someone else's pickup. You never have to shovel it. You never have to walk through it to go anywhere. It doesn't keep you at home all the time. Just see it in someone else's car. That sounds nice.
So I haven't talked to you in a long time, Thomas. What are you up to now? What's going on? I mean, I hate to say I haven't even tuned into your show for a long time. So, are you reading? Are you doing a weekly read now? Are you doing basically the same show, just same thing you've been doing all along, or?
Oh yeah, we're doing the Bitcoin group every week. You can check that out on the World Crypto Network, and we cover the normal 4 or 5 topics in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. It's getting a little tiresome. This last week we did it wasn't a rerun, but it felt like a rerun, because we talked about Bitcoin Energy Fund. We talked about China banning Bitcoin, and the price was down, and everyone's all freaked out and all that. So it's a lot of the stories we do before, but we just keep doing them. And try to keep that going every week. We've also been working with NFTs recently. It's been a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys know, but I did a little NFT project back in 2017.
Really?
And
Really?
it's called
the Rare Pepe.
Yeah, it was well, it was around the time of Rare Pepe, and I'm a big fan of Rare Pepe. I think they did some good stuff.
I think I have a Rare Pepe. That's the one thing I still have. The only shitcoin I still have is Counterparty.
Counterparty is a good shitcoin to have. Rare Pepe's was interesting. Their project was a little held back by Counterparty. What we did was a similar project on Ethereum called Curio Cards, and it was kind of fun. We tried to be a like a San Francisco startup, you know, and get my friends to work on it. And someday we'll make $1 million, all that. Well, we didn't make $1 million, you know, we were a startup for like 6 months. But what we did make were some blockchain collectibles, right? And you guys know how it is with the blockchain. They're out there forever, right? As long as Ethereum survives, or the blockchain that you put your collectibles on, as long as it survives, it's still there. So some guys did some digging around, and they found our old project, and suddenly we have fans, and we have a whole little community of people that are into it. So that's been pretty fun. And then also I've been checking out, just in general, the Wax blockchain, which is a copy of EOS, and they have NFTs on there as well. And they have Topps baseball cards and Garbage Pail Kids. So I'm not so much into the value of things. I don't think that they're worth $1 million, but if you can buy them for $1 and you can put them in your little collection binder, and that's all I ever said about my own project.
But this is all digital. Do you ever get the original physical picture, or how does that work? That's what I'm the old guy, you know. Yeah, I don't quite get it yet.
Well, I mean, again, to have the physical ones, I'd have to carry around, you know, like a binder of cards and all this kind of stuff. So these digital ones, you can just put them in a picture frame like this. Here's a Garbage Pail Kid that I have. It's a Tiger King Garbage Pail Kid, and you know, it's fun, and I bought it for 50 cents, and maybe it's worth $1. You know, I'm not so much concerned about the value.
Your money on it. All right.
I just think it's you know, it's fun. And so yeah, you just get a digital picture frame, and it doesn't work too well in the background, but I try to have it set up with some of my baseball cards and stuff in there, because yeah, it's just about having fun and having a collection. And
I was at that one conference in Miami here lately, and they had some beautiful artwork there. I know that. I don't really understand the what do they call it? LFT? What do they call them?
NFTs.
NFTs.
It's kind of like an artist selling their signature. Like they sign something 10 times and then they're selling it. And then now you have a relationship with the artist where you bought something from them. And it could be a big artist like Deadmau5 or Weezer, or a small artist like your friend who does paintings. And it's just a way for artists to sell something. But really, it's just a signature, right? It's numbers and letters like a Bitcoin address. It's numbers and letters like a Bitcoin itself, or like a 0.01 or what have you. And, you know, it's just like a quarter that you painted purple. And you're like, that's my purple quarter. That's my special one. And you can get somebody to pay you $1 for your purple quarter because it's unique. That's very good, but that's a very hard market to find, right? A lot of people like normal quarters because they're fungible, right? You can trade them around. It's those purple quarters, those pink ones, the red ones. And that's all these are. And if people like them, it's cool. And if not,
so, but how are they different? Like, I guess that's what I don't get. If it's digital, what keeps somebody from copying yours? Is what makes it unique is the number. Then is that it? That's what
the number in your wallet. It's just like you know, other than Bitcoin, back in the day, we all used to have coins like Feathercoin and Megacoin and
I was a big Feathercoin fan way back when.
You put some of those in your wallet, and it's not too different than having a bunch of NFTs. Like, they don't really have any value. The people that like Feather like it. They send it around with each other. But what's neat is by having just, say, colors, like a black Feather coin, a red one, a yellow one, suddenly you have to collect all 3 colors if you want to have a full set. And for me, on the Wax collectible side, that's all it is. Now, there's a lot of other people on OpenSea and something weird called Hick Ek Nook, and they're collecting fancy artwork. So artists are selling less. They're selling signatures of just 1 or 2 for each artwork, so they're very rare.
What about, like, okay, the original? What about a print? Is there? I mean, I understand, you know, in the way it used to be done, you had the original, and then they'd have a limited edition print.
This is exactly like that. So the artist would do a limited edition print, and they do a limited edition NFT, and maybe they do 5 NFTs and 5 prints, and they sell the original to some millionaire guy. But you as a normal person have a chance to buy the prints. And going another level down, presumably in price, you as a normal person could buy the NFT. And then you would own the one of that artist. And if that artist becomes famous, maybe you could sell it for more. Maybe someone wants to buy it off you. If that artist becomes no one,
wait
no
a
one's
minute. So
ever gonna
what's
wanna-
wait, I missed this one. This is what I don't get. So you said first there was an original, then this print, now this other thing. So it's the NFT is not it's not a physical piece of artwork.
It depends on the NFT that you're buying, whether or not they've included like the legal rights or the rights to the artwork, or some people are destroying their artwork. But it really doesn't mean that. It's really just more like it's not directly connected to the artwork. They did one where they burnt the artwork, they destroyed it, and they try to say it was directly connected. It's still not really directly connected. It's a lot more like receipts or tickets, like that the artist made a signature receipt, and they signed it and they said, this is my painting, black square number 1. I've signed it. I'm only going to sign 5 of these. And that's again on the artist. The artist could just say tomorrow, I'm making 100 black square number 1s, screw you guys. But everyone would say, don't trust that artist. That's a bad artist, all that. So there's kind of a thing where you just say, well, I'm doing NFTs for this piece now. I'm going to sell them. They're gone. And that's it. And then people now have a little digital collectible, a digital receipt. And it all has to do with like fandom. Like for me, I'm a fan of the band REM. So if you sell me like a little book about REM, I'm going to value it more than a normal book, right? It's not $10 to me. It's an REM book.
I
right?
get it. I get it.
So
Yeah.
if there's somebody that likes these NFTs and they like them enough to pay more than the other guy, and they like them enough to hold them forever or whatever, that value is value to them because of the collectibleness. So it's very much about collectibles.
Are there any Star Trek NFTs going around? And are you a fan of Star Trek? Did you collect any of those?
Oh yeah, well I definitely had Star Trek: The Next Generation, the collectible card game, and I'm hoping that those go wild like Pokemon, because I've got at least
I actually had a deck of that. I remember that.
It was good, man. It was like Magic cards. You could play Captain Picard against other people. There hasn't quite been a Star Trek game. There was a Colonized to Mars game recently that I tried to play, and it wasn't much of a game. It was a lot more just buying stuff. So I kind of took it on that one. But I'm going to give those away to other people. There's a very interesting game, and I'm just tapping the surfaces of this one. I don't know a lot about it, but it's called Alien Worlds. And what Alien Worlds does is they do what classic people have always talked about with NFTs, where you have like the cards, right? But you need the cards to play the game. So you're building a spaceship and you need a captain. So you have the captain card, and you need a mining laser. Oh, pretty doggy. So you have like a mining laser, and you have another mining laser, and you use these to then mine the currency Trillium. And this is where it gets really interesting, because there's a lot of things going on out there. I can't track everything. I have a limited amount of time. So this Alien Worlds thing comes on my radar. I'm like, that sounds interesting. I don't play it. I don't buy any cards. I don't put any money in. Well, the Trillium thing got listed on Binance, and it went up 10 times or 100 times or whatever, right? So all these cards went up like 100 times or whatever. So this little fun game, which seemed like just a diversion, a nice little fun game, it's now worth money. People are now playing it for money. There's, I don't quite understand it yet, but they're trying to do a governance system, like all those other coins that have governance systems.
Oh, no.
But this one's in the game, and you can run to be the president of a planet, and the planets have operating budgets of $1 million. I don't know what I'm doing, wasting my time here. I should be running for president of some.
They're the inflationary dollars. The value of it keeps going down and down and down.
Oh, I'm sure.
A limited edition of $1 million. That probably better than real dollars.
Still spend it. I mean, you're in charge of. It's probably game currency. It's the Trillium or whatever. And you probably have to do, I don't know, public relation things for the game.
Are we
like
promoting shitcoins here? Or what
it's
I was gonna jump in here and push back a little bit, but I don't think Thomas is necessarily doing anything wrong. But yeah, sorry, Thomas, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, finish your point.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not. You don't have to buy these things or not buy these things, but it's a thing that's happening. And what happens with these things is that it's nice to say, like, I'm not interested in other coins. I only have Bitcoin. And that's a good investment strategy. But, You also just have to be open to diversions when they come along. Ethereum, I was not open to.
Well,
And
that's
if I
why,
was open to,
that's why I
could
buy these cars all the time, and I'm starting to buy my old. I used to mint gold coins, so I'm starting to buy these things back now. I don't, and that so this is a real hard. And again, I wish you guys well. I hope that maybe this will be a new collector's piece, but for a guy my age, we don't get it. When you said
Well,
LSMMT, I was thinking Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, but you guys don't remember that.
Well, I'll tell you,
when
Ugly.
I was a kid, huh?
I'll tell you, Ugly and Thomas, what my issue with NFTs is, and it's not. I don't think Thomas is doing anything wrong or anything, to
I know
criticize.
Thomas.
I think it's great. Yeah,
guy.
I think it's great. And I think Thomas is kind of doing it the right way. He's explaining it the right way. The problem I have with NFTs is when I see somebody like Emily, I can't pronounce her last name. It's a long last name that begins with the letter R, whatever her name is, that model, put laser eyes on her Twitter profile. Then I see Tom Brady put laser eyes on his profile. I see Paris Hilton put laser eyes on their profile. To me, when you put laser eyes, it tells me you're buying Bitcoin or you're into Bitcoin, or at the very least you're into quote unquote crypto, although that's a little bit of a cringe word. But what seems like what's happening is that these celebrities are putting on laser eyes just as a way to sell us some stupid lame NFT. That's a way for them to try to make money. So they're trying to virtue signal to the Bitcoin and crypto community, say, hey, I'm like you guys. Hey, buy my shit, buy my shit NFT, and that's just very cringe. And I like the way Thomas explained it, because Thomas said it exactly right. It is basically just a digital signature. And I think most people who buy and possibly even sell NFTs, they don't know what they're buying and selling. They think they have some GIF or something, or some copy of a small video file or something, or of a JPEG or something. And that's not the case, because you can't fit all that stuff in the blockchain. Now, I know that NFTs is a kind of a mania right now, and a lot of people are buying these NFTs thinking they're going to get rich off of them, and most of them are going to lose their money. But the thing about it is that I don't necessarily think the concept of NFTs is completely wrong. I think there may be some value in actually trading these signatures, and that's what they are. They're certificates or signatures. Although I do think Thomas has been using. I haven't used Ethereum in years, and the few times that I did use Ethereum, it was not a good experience, and I've heard that it's even worse now. So since we know, my question to Thomas would be, do you think at some point these NFTs can be more legitimate, less of a mania, less of a bubble, and more some actual use case? And do you think that they're going to actually move to the Bitcoin blockchain? Because I suspect they will.
Well, I think just in the last 24 hours, Crypto Graffiti and some other guys launched a liquid layer 2 solution for NFTs. I don't know the details about it, but they're opening up a marketplace. They're working on it. Certainly, these are very simple signatures. It's not impossible for them to be on the Bitcoin blockchain or another blockchain. So I agree with Patrick. I think they could have real uses, like people have said, for a ticket to a concert. Although usually you can trust the concert venue. Usually you can trust the ticket maker to make the ticket. So it's not really a blockchain necessary situation. So we have to watch out for that again. And I do think that they'll continue to have interest as a mania, as a collectible. People just like collectibles. They like collecting things. I agree with Patrick.
No.
Price on most.
I used to mint these coins. I'm starting to buy them now myself, because I think that I want to have a little bit of gold. And they're very rare because I minted them. I know how many are out there. So, and I found this guy. He said, I've been collecting. So he was so glad he found me. I'm talking to the real Mr. Braun. And I go, yeah. And so I said, yeah, I'll buy. And so I've been collecting these for years. I think he's going to be at the conference. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. I said, look, I'll buy every extra that you have. I said, don't destroy your collection, but anything that you have a duplicate, I'll be glad to buy. So it worked out real well, and I didn't have to pay a big premium. Although I think the premium will be going up. I think I only paid like 25 or 30% premium, which isn't bad. I mean, you got the intrinsic gold price there, and so I understand, but I'm not sure I understand the digital collector pieces yet, but it's for the new generation. I don't think I haven't been.
And do you know what NFT stands for, Ugly? Do you know what NFT stands for?
We've told you before.
Yeah, just a
non-fungible token.
Non-fungible token. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's once you know it's a non-fungible token, I think it makes sense. It's a token, but each one is individual.
Separate.
Each one is
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
We'll focus on getting you to understand Lightning before we get to
yeah,
advanced
Lightning. What else I need to do? Oh, we just showed this. What's this thing they want to get past? But Thomas probably knows more about that. The Taproot.
Oh yeah, Taproot. Yeah, absolutely.
Taproot stuff you've been doing. Hey guys, if you don't know Thomas, go check him out because you know a lot of the big names, Tone Base, Jimmy, a lot of people that are now well-known Bitcoin names. They started with Thomas. I mean, he's been around forever and a day, and a lot of people started with him and have gone their own way. He's launched, and that's why I say when I think of somebody to MC, he's MadBitcoin. He's the guy. He made what you did, Thomas. You've always made Bitcoin fun, and it's got to be fun. If you're not having fun, you're over trading. You're doing something wrong. So that's what we want to be video. So
let's see if you guys click allow screen sharing. I can show you guys a little bit of the MadBitcoins on a boat video that we shot last time at the Working Man's Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
I don't know if we can share the sound. There might be copyright issues, so maybe we'll just have it muted. But let me see here if I can share screen. All right, just a sec. So here we go. Here's just a little bit of MadBitcoins on a boat. And so footage a little bit here. There's Juan and I. We're in there. We'll do some behind the scenes commentary here to keep you guys up. So that's just an actual normal guy. Like, what is going on here? And the best part, you could just set up a camera anywhere and dance in front of it. So we just went on the boat, dancing in front of it, having a good time.
It's gonna be hard to beat that shirt we had for that conference.
I got that shirt right now in my closet.
Yeah, it's really good, and it's a track.
I thought about throwing on that shirt actually for this stream.
I still have a few of them around.
The old goat doing some dancing there in the front, and this all perfectly lines up with the audio. There's Patrick right there.
There's me, and there's Socrates. You saw Socrates there.
So yeah, we just had a great time at the Ugly Old Goat on a Boat conference, and I think we're gonna have another great time here in Mexico. This would be a good conference to get out to, not a mega conference like some of the other conferences with hundreds and thousands of people all indoors, traveling from many places, but hopefully just a couple hundred.
We want this to be very intimate and mainly not really so much a speaker event, but a network event, and to really address some topics. So I'm. Like I say, you guys are kind of the glue to make it all work. So I'm, what's on the website is not final. You guys, we can revise this thing. You have some beautiful women too. Look at that! Look at that.
Katie was there. Katie the Russian was there.
She's great.
I know you need to get Katie to come to this conference. That's makes all the conferences better. But I've been talking to a lot of people about Bitcoin conferences. And what we seem to like about the good conferences is that the speakers are right down there with the attendees, and they go to dinner with the attendees and they hang out, and there's just lots of opportunities. You don't have to bother people, and certainly people aren't celebrities. You don't have to treat them like that. But if you had a question you always wanted to ask one of these Bitcoin guys, you can sidle up to them and buy them a drink and ask them a fun question, and we're all into it. And people are really honest. They'll give you their real answer. And it's also fun for a lot of people who haven't started in Bitcoin or this community, and they're like, how'd you get started? And you can ask them that, and they'll tell you, and they'll help you get started. So it's really good to go to these conferences, not just
that's great. I've never seen this video before. That's really
well, you're missing out on the sound. It's a lot better with the sound. But yeah, there it is. That was the MadBitcoins on a Boat video. Check it after this with the sound. But this way we'll just avoid the whole copyright thing. So
sometimes music just goes in my head and I can't keep it quiet. And that happened to me yesterday. I was just out there doing something, and all of a sudden this thing started to go. It said, I want my BTC. And I got to just keep going with that, and then I got to do something. Yeah, it's something. And then the second part, I need to go. Yeah, where does it go? It goes. It's a lousy store of value and sucks for cash. Anyway, I gotta complete the lyrics on that. I was just having so much fun with it because I said anybody that bought Bitcoin over 40,000. That's what they're thinking now. That, well, hopefully we have them trained. You still want the Bitcoin, but you've learned that it really sucks to store value. If you buy it at 50 or 60,000, it didn't store your value very well, and it certainly doesn't work very well as cash either. So
that is a brilliant idea, because in that actual song that you're singing, they actually took the lines and they took it from someone complaining about musicians, talking about how they get their money for free, that ain't working. And like those were actual lines that they overheard when they were like at a store or something. And I think it would be awesome to put like some Bitcoin FUD lines in there, like, oh, look at them yo-yos, they get their sats for free.
I threw it up there. Hopefully somebody, I don't have that creative talent. It just came to me and said, boy, somebody could really do a meme on that one. So, anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to get a new mask down here. We actually, look at this guy. We got a sculpture now. He's going to be down here, in-house sculpture. And this is the only one we have, but you want to show?
Beautiful. It's an amazing sculpture.
Yeah, it really is. And this
nice.
is the I don't know what this is, but we have a bronze one coming. I haven't picked it up yet. It's in San Diego, but yeah, we've got a beautiful one of Safety too. He saw it and he went, wow. Oh, there it is. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. That's a picture of it. We don't have it here yet, but it's just, Bitcoin standard bearer. I want this to be a tradition. It's really important, I think, that Bitcoin, builds some solid traditions. And I hope, that's where we want to keep going with it. And anyway, we got a lot of work to do on this conference, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm really excited about your conference, Ugly, and I'm really honored that you.
Well, I think it's going to be. We're really going to make it I want it to be the best one in 2021. It won't be the biggest, but I don't think we really ever want it to be the biggest, because it won't be the same. And it's going to be kind of a huge financial loss, I'm sure, but it's okay. We're building a studio down here. Incidentally, Thomas, we got this one. We're building another studio. We're going to be getting a span. Kind of anybody that wants to get on here and use our studio down here. We're going to build another one across the street. So when you get down here, the facilities are here, and I don't know where we're going with it, but I couldn't do this. He's here doing the website, Stefan, which is great. We have Juan working the back end of the website, and of course Eddie. I couldn't do anything without him. And we've got a professional Ernesto? What's his photographer or video guy, and he's on retainer every month, so he's going to actually build the studios as we want them. So. That's where we're going to go. It's just going to be great. So,
Ugly, I wanted to just kind of let you know what I've been working on and what I've been doing. So, obviously, you said the conference is not going to be the biggest conference, because that's going to be. I think it might actually be the biggest, in-person conference or event is going to be the Miami conference, which is coming up here in. I think in like just over a week or something, 10 days or 11 days or something.
You got to speak up. We can barely hear you.
Yeah, I'll try to speak up a little bit. Can you guys hear me better now? How's the audio? If you guys can hear me, okay. So basically, I've been working on trying to get PorcFest going. And PorcFest is coming up in June 21st to the 27th. Now, if you want to go to PorcFest, hopefully you already got your tickets, because it is sold out. So it is completely sold out. I had the PorcFest link on my Twitter, so if you wanted to sign up, you could go through that. Now that is completely sold out, so I am still working on putting together a great Bitcoin, a lot of Bitcoin events there at PorcFest, because I really want to make sure that the Bitcoin standard bearer, Bitcoin maximalist message gets out there in PorcFest. And we're going to have some shitcoiners there too, but it's going to be a debate. We're going to have a back and forth conversation. I think it's going to be great. But the thing is that now that PorcFest is sold out, I don't really need to be promoting it anymore. So I really want to start promoting your conference and letting people know about your conference. So Stefan or Eddie or whoever, if you can send me, through Telegram, if you could send me the link so I could start putting it up on my Twitter and I can start promoting.
Yeah, you should have an
Bitcoin
affiliate code.
conference.
You should be on our membership group as a speaker. If you log into your site, there's an affiliate code. I think we'll be putting it on the bottom of this broadcast. So guys, if you're coming to the conference and you want to support Patrick and his work, or Thomas and his work, just use their affiliate code. And also, you guys, there'll be a picture of you. If they click on your picture, then they can pick, who do I want to support? And some of us don't need the support that others do, and so that's what it's for here. That's why I kind of.
To me, it's more about making sure I promote the event.
Yeah,
it's not so much
but I have my little selfish reasons too. I don't want everybody from California coming down here until I want the Europeans and people from Africa and Asia and Australia to kind of have, in Latin America, they come down here first. We want it to be an international crowd. And I don't think it's been any problem once we open it up to the U.S., because I know a lot of people in California are looking to move down here to Mexico. So, and that's things are really booming down here. I mean, it's just incredible. So.
Now, Patrick, let me ask you, we talked a little bit about it earlier with Tom Brady and other people like that getting into Bitcoin, but how do the libertarians feel? Because they were early to Bitcoin, they were right about Bitcoin, but now clearly Bitcoin's getting much bigger, and it's not just libertarian Bitcoin, it's not just cypherpunk Bitcoin, it's everybody's Bitcoin. How are they dealing with that?
Yeah, that's a very good point. And actually, I had a huge argument with Junseth over this, because Junseth hates libertarians. He talks crap about them. And the funny thing is that a lot of the stuff that Junseth says, he's right about, but he gets some of the details wrong. He gets some of the minutia wrong. So to me, it seems like the Bitcoin is libertarian money started maybe 2012, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was 2013, and it kind of maybe ended in maybe 2016 or 2017 once the block war started. I think that's when. So there was a period between, say, 2013 and 2017 where Bitcoin was libertarian money. Before that, it was more cypherpunk tech money, and a lot of libertarians dismissed Bitcoin because it wasn't gold, and they didn't like gold. They didn't like anything that wasn't gold. So it wasn't really libertarian money before that. And after that, I think a lot of libertarians kind of went this shitcoiner route, because they say, oh, free market competition, therefore everybody should be able to make their own money and launch their own token, and that just made no sense if you believe in sound money. So I do think that that a lot of libertarians have kind of lost the narrative. They've lost the sound money narrative, and that's the work I've been trying to do in New Hampshire, is try to make sure to bring it back. Because every time I talk to somebody that's part of the Free State Project, which is in New Hampshire, or part of PorcFest, they say, oh, you're the crypto guy. Or, hey, let's have some events around crypto. And I always have to say, just to let you know, that word is just, it's like fingernails on a chalkboard to me. So, we're trying to make it about Bitcoin. Now, if you want to have some, altcoin people there, if some shitcoin people there, and we can kind of have a discussion, that's fine. But I'm not going to let anybody go there and just promote their altcoin. I'm not going to allow someone just to go out there and advertise, their own personal token unchallenged. So I'm like, if we want to have a conversation, we can have a conversation. But I do want the hub that I'm making. They said it's going to be a crypto hub. I said, there's no way I'm calling my hub a crypto hub. It's going to be called the Bitcoin hub. I wanted to call it the Bitcoin and Sound Money hub, but that was too long. So I just said, it's going to be the Bitcoin hub, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin, and we'll have a day where we talk about altcoins, and we have some discussions about them and talk about how they're different from Bitcoin, how they're not Bitcoin. But that's, to me, that's my perception, at least. I don't know if you're because you're not really a libertarian yourself, Thomas. You're kind of on the outside. What has been your perception looking at libertarians and Bitcoin? Do you have any thoughts on this? Do you agree with Junseth that libertarians are idiots, or what?
Well, I do think the most important thing there is that the difference between Bitcoin and the goals of the altcoins is just so different. Like you, I'm into sound money. I want to stop wars. I want to have responsible spending. I even have a larger thing I could go into here about conservationalism, and that I think that's a good idea that we should head that direction. Bitcoin helps that too. But in general, I think as far as like the libertarian thing or the cypherpunk thing, it's very hard to let go of Bitcoin as your little community. So there was a time there where you were the high priests of it, and we were in charge of it and all that. And there was about 30 dudes in a room, right? And we all looked around at each other and we said, well, we're never going to procreate with 30 dudes in a room. Right? This movement is not going anywhere. We need all kinds of different looking people, all kinds of different women and men, and all kinds of different people, just everybody in this. And we're starting to get that, right?
I think it started to go to hell once the ugly old goat came in.
Yeah,
That
that's
kind
right.
of destroyed
You
everything
start
right there.
accepting ugly old goats in the community. Who knows what you're going to have next? Mad,
Exactly.
all kinds of nonsense. So you got to watch for that. But what's interesting is to see these new people go through the same steps as all the other new people.
It is
It doesn't
funny because
matter.
we all went through it, and no matter how hard we try and explain it, they got to learn it on their own. The learning
Right.
curve is a learning curve, and it's not instant. Oh, I get it. I got people now that've just gotten into Bitcoin this year, and I know they're buying. Who knows what they've done in this?
Well, and then I go to a party, like very few, not any anymore. But once I went and I met my parents' friends, and they're all like, "Yeah, we bought Dogecoin at 20 cents and it's 60 cents now. We're really happy." Blah blah blah. And I don't have the heart to tell them there's no value to it and they should just sell. They got lucky, right? They got really lucky.
Right.
It's fantastic. You did lucky, like you did the lucky thing. But then it went the other way, and then they weren't lucky. And then the other ones were all buying Ethereum. So I think that's going to happen. I think it's hard for the libertarians and myself and the cypherpunks and everybody else to just be surrounded and even deluged by all these new Bitcoiners. If you go on Clubhouse, you can have every old conversation you used to have about hardware wallets or paper wallets, or if I should go to sleep in Ethereum, or if I should trade all my ETH for Bitcoin or all my Bitcoin for ETH, and all these kind of things. And they think that and they don't want to think. So they just want to give the thinking away to you. They're like, I can't think. Can you think for me? And I'm like, yeah, I can think for you, but I have no idea what's going to happen. So you're better off thinking for yourself.
Thomas, I got the top signal for you. I was actually going to a gym here in the Valley, here in LA, and I walked into the gym, and the personal trainer introduced me to the people. I said, "Oh, here, this is Patrick. He's the Bitcoin guy." And then and the people were like, "Oh yeah, we don't like Bitcoin. We're into Doge." I'm like, and that right there, that was like a week ago. So that was the top signal right there. That was right before the big crash when everybody was into Doge. Everybody and their brother and second cousin was into Doge.
Well, and I have a fantastic solution for you. I just came up on yesterday's Bitcoin group. We were talking about all this, and I've been out there promoting it on Twitter only for about 24 hours here. But we have a brand new dog mascot for Bitcoin called Sats. And we just Sats.
Wonderful. Beautiful.
Collect Sats. Suddenly for about $300-400, you could be a millionaire in Sats. You could have 1 million Sats. Sats is the dog, and it can be any dog. Like right now, we're doing a lot of husky work. There's a lot of really good husky gifts. But if you draw a picture of your Sats is just as good as anybody else's Sats. And we can solve this thing.
Well, what we need to do is, I'm not a big thing on these digital assets. What we need to do is we need to maybe have a design contest, and then once we get that design contest, we need to actually produce the character in like the ugly old goat mask or MadBitcoin. And it'd be great if we could have that character. Maybe that's what we should do with Patrick. Dress him up as Sats.
That's the dog.
As a dog.
That's the dog.
Yeah, I do kind of look like a dog, don't I? With my
crime dog.
hair.
Have a physical dog.
With a mustache at that.
Did you see, Ugly? They put you in that TV show. They put you in Bitcoin and Friends in one of the last episodes.
Oh yeah, really? All right. No, I have to go look at that.
Oh yeah, it was in the background.
They need to call my attention to these things. If I miss so much. Like, as I just don't have time anymore. I watch your show regularly, and I haven't. I mean, I watched it maybe once or twice in the last year, and I know you've always put out good stuff, so I kind of miss it. Yeah, and I kind of like the libertarian things. Number one is libertarians. There's a wide variety of libertarians. We are not united on issues at all, and I don't even consider myself. I am a libertarian, but I'm not. Depends upon how you define it, and but I know I did a little survey and I wrote a little article about it, and I really like it. Because you get it, it said, well, I'm primarily for sound money. And I kind of, laugh at the debate between the gold bugs that just are down on Bitcoin and the Bitcoiners that are down on gold. And I said, well, may the best coin win. I'm for sound money, whether it be gold or Bitcoin. And I get the case why Bitcoin is a better money, but For governments, gold might be the best thing because gold has like a border. It's a physical, and in my view, the Bitcoin community can actually keep a gold standard honest. And I'll throw this up at you, Thomas, because I know you've been around this space a lot longer than I have. I actually kind of relate the HODL now as the new user activated soft fork because we can choose our jurisdiction. I'm in Mexico, and I have a foot on both sides of the border, and I hope to increase to have my foot in other parts of the border. But basically, as I'd love to see nation states restore sound money. And as Saifedean wrote in his book, that's the most effective attack you can have against Bitcoin is the government start, restoring sound money. And that would happen because we would go and build it. Like right now, I'm building. Well, you guys knew when I started the website, I started with 10 Bitcoin. We built the website. Now we're doing this thing. Well, guess what? 10 Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin, but look how much more I can do with it now than I could, when we did the cruise or when I built the website. And that's what people don't understand. It changes your whole thought process and the way you do things. And so I just thought it was kind of funny because I think there's common ground, and the common ground is sound money. And that's what Bitcoin is sound money, but gold is too, and it's not as volatile as Bitcoin. I mean, anybody that bought Bitcoin in the last couple of months, you're not going to convince them it's a store of value because it's not,
a lot of times people don't think about this, but I think that if gold loses its monetary premium, it'll actually be a net positive on society, not a net negative. And I'll tell you why. The reason why is because gold has a lot of
speak up. You're
gold has a lot of industrial uses, and a lot of times it's not used for these things. They use an alternate metal which is not as good as gold, and they use that instead of gold because gold is too expensive. And if gold loses its monetary premium, a lot of gold bugs will be upset about that, and they'll think it's a disaster. They think it's terrible, but objectively, society will be better off because now you can use gold for more things that are its actual purpose. I think the ideal money is not something that could be used for something else. This is what some of the Austrians don't understand. Is they think, well, it's got to be a commodity first before it's money, and that's not exactly what Mises said. I think Mises said that like a commodity. He gave
that's what
Rothbard
did. You got to distinguish Mises and Hayek.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Rothbard's got
his
own school, and it's not Mises and it's not Hayek. And it's people that really studied it recognize there's a big difference. I'm not a Rothbardian. Rothbard wanted to impose 100% gold standard on the whole world.
So I'm gonna put a conjecture out there that the ideal money is something that can only be used as money and can't be used as for anything else. And this goes completely opposite what a lot of Austrians say, which is that it's got to have some other use. It's got to be a good that has some use.
And I don't know. Money. My view as the future is, I think to me, Michael Saylor nailed it when he said Bitcoin is use it as your treasury. It's not everything you have; it's your treasury. And what's going to happen in the next year or two, as more and more other assets can be collateralized. And he says, you know what? I'm not selling one Satoshi, but he's not telling people I'm not using it. Of course he's going to use it. He's going to do it like I'm using it. Right now, I'm using my Bitcoin to buy gold. And, it's working like a gangbuster. I don't have to sell any of my Bitcoin. I just use my Bitcoin as collateral for a gold purchase because I think gold is going to go up too. It's the dollar that's got the problems. Gold doesn't have a problem. Bitcoin doesn't have a problem. It's just the Bitcoin volatility is huge because we're still trying to figure it out, and until we do figure it out, I think Hayek wrote that you have to have not just free market money, but you also have to have free market banking, sound commercial banking.
Well, I'm fine with free market banking.
It's coming. You can see it. It's working already. The exchanges are.
Yeah, the free banking argument gets misconstrued. I switched mics. I don't know if this one's better or worse, so let me know. But the free banking argument is something a lot of libertarians misunderstand. Actually, someone who Thomas knows, Derek J. Tom, you're familiar with Derek J. Derek J. was the one who told me, he's like, hey, you need to have free banking. And then basically when he was saying free banking, he was talking about each organization having their own money. And I'm like, that's not free banking. No. Free banking was a free market in banking, but they all use the same kind of
standard, right? And if you Hayek nailed it. He said, look, the competition in currencies is not going to be competition of different standards. It's going to be one standard that's going to compete with government standards. And that's why I'm saying that's why I kind of consider Bitcoin a hodl. If you're a hodler, it's kind of the new user activated soft fork. We don't have any control over compliance. We don't have any control over what the government does. The only thing we have control over is our hodl and where we are going to release that hodl. People think that we just hoarding Bitcoin. No, that's not true. I release Bitcoin. I invest. Now, I may not sell it, but you can borrow against. You can do other things. And I think like Michael Saylor and gave another great. He's just got all kinds of good examples. But one of them was, some of the old wealth on the East Coast. Where did wealth come from? Well, my great-great-grandfather had 3 blocks of real estate next to Central Park, and we never sold it. Okay. Well, that doesn't mean they didn't use it. It didn't mean they didn't collateralize it. It's just that they were always borrowing against it with cheap money and built their wealth that way. That's what Bitcoin is. It's a long-term deal. I mean, Saifedean really nailed it in his book, and there's so much wealth in there. And I don't like people liked it. In fact, the Bitcoiners, I said, what are you for? Are you for the Bitcoin standard? Are you for the gold standard? Are you for sound money? And the majority were for the Bitcoin standard. Well, I'm not for the Bitcoin standard if it's not sound money. I think it is sound money, but I don't go hodl, save, build a Bitcoin. I go sound money, and that's the concept because that's universal. That's the principle involved. And Bitcoin is the new technology that allows us to develop this principle. That's what's so cool about it. It really is. And like I say, his vision, Hayek's vision, say this is, I think we'll see. We'll just time will tell. I won't live to see that part. I'm just glad I'm alive right now and witnessing this. It's so exciting. It just is an incredible time to watch this thing. It's incredible. It really is. It's unprecedented in history.
Well, let me show you one more thing you might like. This is you in a cartoon show.
Oh,
there you are in Bitcoin and Friends on the far left there.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
How about that? So
wow.
There's like kind of a gang of people and they're doing stuff and they put you there in the background. So it's pretty cool. Very cool to be involved. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've really made it ugly. That's awesome.
Episode 4 called Thick Love.
Check it out. I'll tweet it out. Stuff. If I know about the stuff, guys, I'll promote it. I had no clue until you showed me. I just, so at any rate. But yeah, no, I mean, Alan's doing a good job on that stuff. So yeah, I'm open to you guys too. So we're not, I want this to be really the best event that we've ever had, and I think it will be. There's still some big names out there that might be. They haven't said no. They haven't said yes. That they've been invited, and I get it. We're not. This isn't like the big Miami conference or something like that. But I think it's going to be. We're going to make it. I think it's going to be the best one around. At least we're going to do our best to make it that way. So. Speaking
of Miami, Thomas, are you going to be there?
No, I don't think I'm going to travel to Miami. It's just too soon. Even this one, I mean, I like it. It's in August. I definitely want to make it. And hopefully things will be better by then. You can never tell with conditions in this pandemic. On one hand, a lot of people are getting vaccinated, which is very good. It doesn't spread as well. On the other hand, there are some very strong variants happening in Singapore and India. I hope they don't come here, but that does weigh heavily when you have a place like Florida that doesn't really have any rules. I hope everyone's safe. I wish everyone well, and I hope they have a great time. But yeah, it's And it's very strange recently they dropped the mask requirement. It's a lot of this stuff where I know people didn't like the mask requirements. There's a big political thing there, but the right to protect yourself.
Yeah, we've had our words over that issue.
Yeah, but the right to protect yourself from sickness should be everywhere. I mean, I think we gained the right to wear masks, and then now I feel we're losing that, and I'm not sure why. It seemed like a really good common sense.
You made a really good point, because what's interesting is with the Miami event that's about to happen is that it's going to be like I said, maybe the biggest Bitcoin conference, maybe the biggest event period outside of, say, maybe the Super Bowl that happens this year. That's not like a concert or a Super Bowl or something. Biggest event, most people. And the interesting thing about it is that it's not just Bitcoiners and crypto people who are going to be watching that conference closely. It's going to be everybody who's going to be watching that conference closely. Even other event organizers are going to be watching this conference very closely. And we're going to learn a lot, I think, from this conference. I'm looking forward to going there. I'm looking forward to hanging out with a lot of people that I've met online. I'm going to meet in person. I'm looking forward to meeting people that I've met before. And afterwards, we're going to be looking at this very closely. And if other events watch what happens in Miami and they see that no big disaster happens, no big super spreader event happens, I think that could be one of the signs that it's okay for people to actually go out and meet other people. So hopefully that's what I'm hoping for. And I appreciate your kind words, Thomas. Yeah, we'll try to stay safe out there, and we'll try to get this thing going so that we can go back to being humans again.
Well, that's a nice thing about Bitcoiners. We tend to have civil discussions even when we disagree. So, and that's the most important thing. I mean, we all learn from each other. I have a different view from, most people. I'm the high risk. I got it. I was not happy with the way, my wife had it, and she was very sick, but I didn't like the way my father was born in 1913. Okay. And he almost died from the influenza in 17 or 18. So I wouldn't have been here had it not been for that. So I do believe in that there's certain things that from beginning to end, there's a time you are born and a time that you will die, and we don't have anything to say with that. So I have a different perspective than a lot of people. I also grew up, the only vaccine we had was polio, and we could actually see it was not so much the death part, was the crippling aspect of it. And but I remember, I had by the time I was in kindergarten, I had the mumps, measles, and chickenpox, all three of them in 1 year. Now I remember the mumps because that was pretty serious. I was sick, and now they kind of immunize all that, but we didn't, we just didn't have a problem with it. When I was in college, same thing. Everybody got the flu. They shut down the school, but we were all, we were sick. And the COVID, I was not sick, just very mild, but it was a lingering thing. And I'm not even now, I don't feel like it's not a thing where you had the flu and then you're better. It's kind of like, I got this little thing, but it didn't really quite go away. That's the difference that I've seen it. Man, maybe I don't know how it is with other people, but the goat lady got it, and she almost. I mean, if we didn't have top-notch medical attention down here, she probably wouldn't have made it because she was a high risk because of her medical condition. She was a high risk candidate. But I had literally my oldest adopted son was blocking the door from her to see and Aaron was saying, "You can't go see her because you got to live through this," And I'm like, what? I really don't care. She's I'm going to be there for her. If she's passing on, don't keep me from seeing, a loved one that's passing on. I'm going to be there. So it's just a matter of your values, and so. I get it, but I don't. So that's kind of the way I put it.
I definitely want to agree with Patrick. There's a ton of pent up demand. People want to go outside again. They want to go out in groups again. We're all looking forward to this. We just want to find a way to do it safely and just to have everybody be safe and to really, deprive the virus of a place to live.
Yeah, there's not, most of us, most of you, particularly you guys, it's not serious.
It'll get, well, but it's not serious right now, but the mutations could get worse. So we just want to team human, stop that virus And but let's, I hope you guys have a good time. I hope it's safe. The outdoor events are very safe. Outdoors, even without a mask, has been phenomenally safe.
Were you up to driving one of these cars and getting wrecked but not ruined?
I don't know. I didn't try the ATVs last time. I've done a couple.
No, this is not ATVs. We'll have the ATVs. These are regular. These are the big boys.
The dune buggies.
The dune buggies.
Oh,
Yeah. You need to watch that video. Play the video for him, guys. If you haven't
I got wrecked on the ATV.
Yeah, he got all wrecked on the ATV. The ATVs are actually more dangerous than these things, because these things, as long you just keep your arms in, you can roll these things as long as you don't stick your arm out. You're okay. Just hold on to it.
Yeah, Ugly had to correct because I was riding in the dune buggy up in the wilderness in Baja California, and my hand was hanging out the side. He was like, "You definitely want to have your hand inside, just so if we roll over, you."
Yeah, that's the only danger, because we've actually rolled them, and I flipped one with my daughter. It scared her, but she was completely unhurt. And then we went out over Christmas. Unfortunately, we missed the crash, but we had a young kid that was quote a racer. He rolled it 1.5 or 2.5 times.
I got it.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen this or not, Thomas.
I'll play it on this end.
This is what you're going to be up for, man. This is what you're going to be doing. And, you got all kinds of fans. They want to ride with your car, man. You can be, so they want to ride in Mad Bitcoin. You probably have to drive. You're going to have to wear your Mad Bitcoin outfit when you get in this thing. So you got the sound on there, too? Yeah. So there it is. Now, those are the ATVs.
You guys hear the sound?
You guys hear the sound? No, we don't hear it.
Not on my end. I don't know if.
Well, anyway, those are what you're gonna be driving, the big ones there. Okay? And we got a professional. The guys that I buy, they run it. They're really good. They kind of start you out driving by car. On YouTube. Okay. It's all, and we do it on our own, but that's a little more. That's why I need to be supervised, because I already figured it out. I'm not gonna have a bunch of yahoos without, and I know a few of them. Who was I think? Sats, a couple of them are. Joe Sats is a former race driver, so he's going to be challenging what you do with these things. And they're a lot of fun. It's incredible. You say you don't think the machine can go up there, and it does. It's just incredible. So that's what you're going to be doing. We're not going to go to Arindia. These pictures on the coast are at Arindia. That's a great trip to do it in Arindia. We're going to be going more into the mountains back by Horsepower Ranch, a little bit to the east of Ensenada. But it's a good trip. It's a good trip. Oh, I got to try and I didn't get a band. I need to see if I can get the electric waste band for the. I need to get some good entertainment, so we're going to try and make this thing really, really good, guys. It's going to be, hopefully, and we're betting. Hopefully it opens up, because if it opens up, it's, now we can basically more than double the capacity of people coming, and I might even break even on the event. Who knows?
So what's the website again? Where can people sign up?
Oh, it's Bitcoin. Can you believe this? BitcoinStandardConference.com. Can you imagine that thing? I went and looked, and there it was. And that was available like 6 or 8 weeks ago when we got it. We were amazed. Yeah, BitcoinStandardConference.com. Amazing.
And when do the tickets go on sale?
Well, they are on sale now.
Only through you, only through the speakers, only through our members. If people are watching, they have to click on your affiliate code, or it's not going to work for them. They get a 15% discount, because basically, it's for my members, it's for the speakers, it's kind of, reward you guys, because, you guys work for nothing. I hardly pay you anything to do this thing, you know, so you guys got to get compensated in some way. So, you know, if you like Thomas's work, get it through Thomas. You know, if you like what Patrick does, you know, sign up through Patrick. Oh, and then we have the VIP package too. That's $10,000, and you get a Bitcoin membership too, ugly old goat membership, which, you know, that's worth $4,000 by itself right now. So, yeah, there's all kinds of ways to do it. The VIP is going to get some really special stuff too, and this is kind of this is a family-friendly event. We actually have another location where people are bringing their families who are staying. So, you know, you guys will be at the hotel or here at the Bitcoin house, you know. But right now, you guys are the glue. So if you know, if you say, you know, if you see a little spot that needs gluing, let me know. We can probably fix it a little more. There'll be what we've got up there on the website is not locked in concrete yet. So.
Ugly, I just updated my Twitter and I added your link, or my link, my referral link too. So that if anybody wants to sign up for the conference, they can either do it through Thomas's link, which is below in the YouTube comments, or if you will go to my Twitter, it's on mine is on my Twitter right now.
Yep. Beautiful. Okay. Well, it'll be a super event. I'm glad you guys are both able to help us out, and you're both perfect for being the MC and moderator, because, you know, I'm sure I'll be busy, but somebody needs to be that glue. And no, we're putting it together. It's going to be there. Like I said, these guys, I made the guys come in and work today. They're all at the house moving furniture for the goat lady and moving stuff out of the other house, because we're going to have a whole new, we're going to build a whole new facility over the next 2 months. So all the house building is being shifted from the new house to the house that we are moving out of, and we're going to be converted. There you go. They just out there. You don't run over a cow if you're driving a car. So, yeah, you've never done this before, Thomas. It's a trip. You'll never forget it.
Yeah, so. Thomas, I was with Ugly for about a week back in November, and so every day of the week we were doing something different. The first day we went, you know, dune buggy racing. The second day we went snorkeling. The third day we went fishing. The fourth day we went, dune buggy racing again. So, and it was just, you know, for a septuagenarian, he's pretty hard to keep up with, even at 30 or 40 days.
That's pretty fun. Sounds
yeah, like well, you know, you got to do it while you can, because it's definitely slowing down, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and the Viagra doesn't even work anymore. You know, just getting worse by the day. So
everyone should check it out at BitcoinStandardConference.com. Looks like Tone Vase, Jimmy Song, Ugly Old Goat, Giacomo Zucco, all kinds of great guys.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, we're going to have some new faces, some relatively unknown faces that are really top-notch guys. And, you know, I'm looking forward to it. And we, like I say, we have quite a few that have not said no yet. So those slots will be filled. And, of course, every time I sponsor a speaker, we got one less ticket we can sell, too. So I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot. But that's okay. We want this to be first a conference, you know, and we're gonna be covering it too. I mean, we've got full-time cameraman, so we're gonna have it professionally covered. You have studio. You might want to be. We'll have a studio, a place where I know you like to interview people. I don't know if you'll have time during the conference, but we'll have a place back there for you if you want to do some stuff. But all right. And you're not very far. Oh, you're in Vegas, so yeah, you can come down anytime. You used to live. You were in San Francisco before, right?
San Francisco and Sacramento.
So okay. So
even then, you could do a day to Vegas, and then you could do a day to Mexico. You could make it down there pretty easy.
Oh, yeah, it's not a bad drive at all. It's not even, I don't think it's maybe 6 hours down here. That's not bad.
As for myself, I'm going to probably fly into LA and stay in LA for maybe a couple weeks before the conference, and then I'm going to probably motor I'll motor down to Ensenada and then fly back to New Hampshire from.
All right. Yeah. And my whole thing is, I want to kind of hand this thing over. I mean, I'm building this thing, but this is kind of, I want it to be a refuge. I kind of had the different, kind of like American Institute or Francis Schaeffer had Labrie, and kind of the same thing, but for Bitcoin, just kind of place, come and hang out, and kind of help support it too. And hopefully we'll just have good internet. We'll have the studios down here so people, you come down here. I don't know. Like, I know it's like, who's that? Tim Pool and
Tim
stuff like
Pool.
that. They fly people in to do their shows. I don't know if we'll ever get that good where we can afford to do that, but it seems to be one of the business models that does work. So, and I don't feel qualified to be, that kind of a Bitcoin spokesman, but I think there's a lot of guys out there that are. And so, and particularly, we want to hit the Spanish speaking nation. So, it's kind of like, Field of Dreams. I'm building it, and hopefully they shall come. You guys it's up to you guys. That's what we're doing here.
So for any Californians out there, I guess, Thomas, you're a Californian too, and I consider myself a Californian, even though I live in New Hampshire now. The interesting thing is that I heard Robert Breedlove mention this, but he used the wrong word. Robert Breedlove on, I think it was Lex Friedman's podcast. He talked about how he called it Baja California, but the correct word is chaparral. There's actually a landscape which is unique to California and Baja California. Nowhere else in the world does this landscape exist, and it's called chaparral. And you can see it here in LA. If you look in the hills of LA, you'll see this chaparral landscape, which is a unique looking landscape. Nowhere else in the world looks like that. And then when you go into Baja California, you see the same thing. And the interesting thing is that Robert Breedlove's point, the reason why he brought that up is because in California, we have a lot of resources where we can try to manage forest fires. So what he pointed out is that the authorities here, the federal and state authorities here, every time there's a forest fire, they do their darndest to try to put it out quickly before it gets out of control. Whereas the authorities in Mexico, if a fire starts burning, they really can't do much about it.
Right, they just let it go.
Yeah, they let it burn.
Well, the whole town comes out. If it threatens the town, everybody's up there, trying to save the town. But
correct.
It's more
exactly to save the individual, the settlements and stuff. But these are things. The reason why Robert Breedlove brought this up is because you could see the two different ways of managing. What it turns out that what California is doing, what America is doing, is actually causing even worse forest fires. So what happens is that if you put out these little forest fires quickly, what ends up happening is you eventually get a really, really bad forest fire, which really
stop it. Yeah,
a lot worse than it would have normally if you just let the smaller fires burn.
When I moved out here, it was like living in hell. All the fires that were around it, and it jumped across the interstate like it was nothing.
Right. So I guess that's kind of a lesson to be learned for government.
Well, he might be coming. Breedlove hadn't said no. I think.
It would be great if he comes.
Yeah, so he might be coming. He hadn't said no yet. So,
well, it doesn't help people building all those homes in the forest. And
that's true.
Different nature environments that used to be just nature, and now they're like nature plus homes, and not even like a lot of homes, just a couple of people's homes. So I think that's led to the problem where you need to do that kind of fire style.
That's a good point, because if you have multi-million-dollar homes.
Yeah, the village is everywhere now, and that's another.
Yeah,
problem.
But in Mexico, if you burn down your house, you just build a new one. You just you need a couple.
There you go.
Plywood.
That's the spirit.
So the reason why I brought that up is because it's kind of shows how the more governments try to regulate and try to make volatility go away, the worse the volatility gets. So when everyone says that Bitcoin is volatile, it's not volatile. It's just that you can actually see the small volatility, whereas with the legacy system, with the traditional system, the volatility is so bad that you get a really, really bad depression every 10 years or so.
I just like how everything that's old in Bitcoin is new again. A friend of mine, I've been trying to get him into Bitcoin for 8 years now, showing him all the things I do, showing him how interesting I think it is, all that kind of stuff. Not interested. All of a sudden he's interested. A month ago, he got a graphics card and he's making $1 a day mining Ethereum. And this is it. Whoa, it's amazing. Everything's awesome now. And, we just went over our first crash together, right? And I've been through a lot of crashes. And I'm not saying I do the right thing. I always sell when it's low. I buy when it's high. I do all the wrong things, right? But still, I've been through a couple crashes, so I'm kind of like, yeah, it's another Bitcoin crash. I'll see what happens on the other side. Sure, I wish I handled it better, but not him. He's like, Bitcoin has serious problems. We need to da-da-da-da. And I'm like, dude, 8 years. Yeah, 8 years to be interested in this. And now you're just boring. You're like this new
Thomas,
people. They're just like,
I'm actually mining again. I haven't mined since 2014. I actually have mining equipment. I'm mining, so everything old is new again. Now I'm back to mining again.
oh, I hate miners. I hate having miners in the house. You're trying to watch a movie, and all the time it's like wee 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 wee, and you never know if you're ever making any money because you're getting these like points of a point of a point of a point. And the only reason we ever made any money on mining is we accidentally held the mining money for 3 years on one of the old computers. So that's what I suggest to everybody. Forget about your mining winnings. Leave them on some computer for 3 years or 5 years and find them later. And then you'll be hugely successful.
Boom.
That's
right there. Forget you have the Bitcoin and all of a sudden you're fabulously wealthy.
That's right. The best hodling I do is when I don't know I have it. And when you go around looking for those old accounts and you're
Stefan
like,
can talk about that too. I think
That's
Stefan.
definitely how I made it.
Yeah. Well,
lose access to it for a while, forget you even have it, and then a couple of years later, you'll be a happy man.
Yeah, you can't trust yourself. And everybody out there,
everyone's their own worst enemy.
Yeah, they're like, I trust myself perfectly. I sold it all yesterday. I bought it back today. I'm buying it tomorrow. I'm selling. I'm buying. Like, nobody knows how to do this to begin. You have to learn how.
It works until it doesn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see where we got ugly. He decided to leave his own podcast. He does that once in a while.
You're the host, Stefan. Where are we going?
Apparently.
You bring it. You want to talk about Taproot? What do you want to talk about?
Well, can you explain Taproot? And I've read like a short summary of the whole thing, but I gotta be honest. Like this cycle around, I'm a lot less interested in the technical news and all this than I was in 17.
Well, I'll tell you why I'm interested in Taproot. I'm interested in Taproot because I think multi-sig should be the way that you store your wealth. If you have more than, say, 1 Bitcoin's worth or a couple of Bitcoins worth, you really need a multi-sig address. I don't think it makes sense to have a single point of failure. And Taproot is going to make multi-sig more private and more simpler and less load on the blockchain. So that's the reason why I'm excited about Taproot. Anything that makes multi-sig easier, I'm very, very excited and interested. Because right now, if you have a multi-sig wallet, and you actually send your Bitcoins out of that wallet, everybody knows you have a multi-sig now.
Right.
So it's a lot less private now. I think every Bitcoin address should look like every other Bitcoin address. You should be able to tell it's a multi-sig address based on how big the transaction is or anything like that. And that's what I'm excited about with Taproot.
Yeah, well, we're probably going to have a panel on that because it's a guy invited. I put it on the group. The guy that
Bitcoin Mechanic.
Yeah, Bitcoin Mechanic. He's done some really top-notch videos. Have you ever had Bitcoin Mechanic on, Thomas?
No, I haven't yet. No.
Okay, he was on Tone, and then I looked at his stuff. He puts out. He's been in this thing since the very beginning. I mean, he was
11, I think.
Yeah, 2000. And he's really put out some good material. He doesn't have a very big following, so but the quality of his work is just outstanding. So he's going to be a speaker. He'll be up there too. I just shared it with the membership on the group, but his whole and we'll have him on. I mean, all these speakers we want to have on between now and the conference because we want. They all have their own following. We want to have a variety of people there. I don't want everybody from Southern California. Oh, Eric is going to be coming, so that'll be good. But I don't want everybody from Orange County down here. Just we want to get as many people from different parts of the world that we can. If we, that's the thing. I hope it opens up. If it opens up, then that's going to be a whole new ball game. And I think it is. I'm taking a businessman's risk that it will, and we'll just see. Goat Lady needs me. She's got a piece of property she's looking at that's retail property, and she said, I already did the deal, so I got to go pick her up. I guess I got to take her to the office and sign for it. So I'm building, guys. It's hodl, save, and build it. And she does the building. As if you know her, she's always building something. But we're moving her out, and we're going to be. But she's taught me a lot how to operate down here in Mexico. So we're actually going to. the skills I've learned from her, we're going to be putting into the new, bigger Bitcoin house. Like, we're going to have a complex. What do they call that? A complex?
Compound.
Yeah, compound, like the Waco compound, something like that.
No, please not like that.
A campus. Call it a campus, not a compound. A
Oh,
campus.
okay. All right.
Especially with your religious proclivities, I think it's a bad idea.
So, yeah, well, at any rate, we'll have that debate too. We're going to have a lot of the authors from Thank God for Bitcoin there, so that'll be interesting. And I definitely, Canute, he's an atheist. I said, oh, yeah, we have to have at least one atheist on the panel. So, but I think I want to be the moderator for that. If we start out with that, it just might turn into a riot before we even start the conference, you know.
Well, it was great to see you again, Ugly and Patrick. It's nice to meet you, Stefan, and I'm glad to hear
Same to
that
you.
Goat Lady's doing well and that she recovered well from her illness.
Yeah,
So
she's
really looking
actually
forward to
doing
this
good.
conference. Everyone should check it out at bitcoinstandardconference.com.
There you go. See you guys.
Perfect, man.
Hope you all
Thank
can
you,
make
everyone.
it. Bye bye.
Thanks for coming on.
Bye now.
See you on the next one.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming on. I know you're going to do a great job.
Cool. Yeah, just keep me updated. If you want to retweet or anything, just tag me in it. I can,
All right. Yeah, we'll just we created a speakers group.
We're
I don't know if you
still
saw
live.
that yet.
We're still live.
Okay. Well, I guess we need
You
to
want to say
sign
goodbye
up.
to people?
Yeah. Bye.
See you on the next one, guys.
Sayonara.
Thanks for tuning in. So